All right. So I was reading an article the other day just in regards to, China's industrialization. They're launching probes to the moon, remarkably advanced probes with a lot of different stages to do stuff. And I mean this is China. They do have the resource and industrial capacity to launch rockets. I mean the Long March series has had a past. It is not without issue, crashing into towns and whatnot. But back in 2016, the political force, the Communist Party controlling China, understood that they had a problem that was really going to come to a head in 2050, and that I think it's 35% of the workforce would go from revenue stream to revenue burden. And they figured that this was an issue, and at some point in between then and now, the past 4 years, Mr. Ping, or whatever his name is, G Ping, Jinping, Ding Ding, I don't know. He basically made it so that he's the boss for life until he dies. He's an older gentleman, anyways. But I'm pretty sure it would have been along the lines of, okay, we have to see this great work completed, and I plan to see it through. Trust in me, I will save our nation. Because there's no societal structure in the world that can handle having so much revenue stream just disappear. And we're not talking about money saved going away. We're talking about physical money generation is just gone, poof, out the door. And not only that, now you got to start paying these people because it's communist. And then the whole premise of the system being that, hey, I did my part, so now give me my bok choy, or give me my chicken fried rice, or my barbecue pork, whatever, my Costco pork. Who knows? There's the whole thing with the Uyghur Muslims and the I don't know, birth control rates, or whatever. There's no hard proof either way, because China, they're not letting anybody in to take a look, right? They have their society is based on a citizen metric, that if you are not communist enough, well, you're just a civilian. Whereas if you got enough commie bonus points or whatever, pinko points, uh, you're a citizen, an upstanding member of the CCCP. Okay, fine, whatever. Russia did the same thing. They blew up Chernobyl. Oops, that was the end of their USSR. Now, don't get me wrong. Here where I live, we have socialist policies. We contribute an enormous portion of our taxes, but in return, we are guaranteed doctors and hospitals, not pharmacies, not nurses, not any of the other stuff, not the wheelchairs, the crutches, or anything like that. But we get doctors and hospitals, and I mean, I'm relatively healthy, but really the core of this, I'm happy. I'll pay. I see what's going on in our neighbor with the whole care plan they got there. They don't got. I don't know how it's working out, but that's not sustainable. Their insurance companies are making nothing but money, just a ton of cash, and because everybody's doing the dosey do and wanting to get that dollar bill, y'all, uh, don't break your leg. Don't do anything. It's better that you get shot and killed than it is to have a potential to survive the injury. Because if you survive, what are you going to do? How do you pay for that? They do the service first when it's life threatening. That's something to wake up to, eh? Hey, you survived. You owe us $250,000. Have a great day. Bye. Get out. And out you go to figure out what you're going to do with the lawyers or the insurance agencies or the whatevers, because you got to do it. It's going to happen. I mean, they have an Affordable Care Act in place right now, but the current President Clownfish or whatever, he wants to repeal that, and boom, 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 banging the fear drum, banging the fear drum. Oh, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. Oh, don't worry about COVID-19 though. It's gonna go away. Oh, great. That reminds me. That was the article. The second morphology of COVID-19, in that it's one of its receptors has changed, so that it's bad because it makes it more infectious. It doesn't make it worse. Calm down. It doesn't make it worse. It just makes it more readily spread amongst humans, which is a silver lining. Oh, sorry, which is a silver lining, because the German geneticists, they see this as a bigger road in to the virus, so they can manufacture a larger molecule, have a greater range of flexibility in terms of devising a solution, a counter agent. So it's good. It's good. It's a bigger doorway to come and go. And that was when I just a little ding, thought bubble appeared over my head. And what do you mean different mutation? What are we talking about? There's 22 or 23 COVID series that have evolved throughout zoological and evolution through history. And okay, so there's 23 of these things. But understand that there's 23 of these stable genotypes. They are stable. They do not change. They are prevented by the zoological barrier. They don't cross from genus to genus because they have grown up in these different phylum, and they don't change. They don't cross the road. They don't mutate. They shouldn't mutate. I mean, they've been around for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, and they've found an effective mode to perpetuate the viral body, and that's what they do. I mean, the cold, it mutates rapidly. That's why it is so prevalent. There's so many versions, and there always will be. But the thing is, because it mutates so quickly, it's not going to hang around. It's in you, your body beats it up, it's out of you. You got some antibodies for that version of the cold. You can still get another one, but it's not the Spanish flu from 1918, which was bring out your dead, like everybody's dying. So, well, that's strange that it would just suddenly change. That it would pick now of all times to alter itself. But nothing changes without interaction. It's true. I mean, the moon stays the moon until something hits it, and then it becomes an asteroid field. It doesn't just fall apart on its own, unless you're talking a span of millions of years, like a long time. So I just did some follow up. I didn't dig deep. I don't believe in QAnon. I don't. Trump ain't fighting child molesters and avenging the economy or whatever. It's all fake. They're all huffing their own gas. But I did find some interesting things. So China has the labor force problem in 2050, where 35% of the nation is going to be saying, "Give me some money. I want money. We're communists. You owe me money. I want my bok choy. I want my Costco. I want my stuff, my cigarettes, whatever." Because unfortunately, unlike a lot of other nations, particularly the North American ones, China eats healthy. Their people live a long time. There's a very reduced amount of obesity-related illness. Predominantly, all their jobs are cardio work all day long, working. And the reality is, the human physiology, as long as it's continually tested within a certain span, it becomes very durable. Point in case, bodybuilders versus CrossFit. Okay, yeah, the bodybuilder's big, huge, and strong. He's 4 times stronger than the CrossFit guy. Yeah, but he doesn't have 4 times more lung capacity than the CrossFit guy. So the CrossFit guy would be working strong all day, and Mr. Big and Shiny, he lifts a couple crates and he's done. He's got to go home. He's I'm gonna have a heart attack when I go up the stairs. Oh God. Okay, so you have a nation of people that are gonna live a long time. Oh, they like to smoke too, unfortunately. So cancer costs a ton of money unless you're, well, not China, because China's research is maybe not the best. Secondly, just because there's this 400 million or whatever number of people coming out of the economy doesn't mean there's workers coming in to replace them. And just recently in 2016, they said, you know what, one child, not a good idea. You just be happy, love each other, have the kids. We'll give you some more bok choy. We give you a little sticker, a little communist China sticker. I mean, people want to go on about China handing out all these perks and all these benefits and bonuses. They only exist in China. They only exist in China because the truth is China spends so much energy devaluing their currency that they are just starting to get trade pacts with other nations. And that's one nation. And the world's going to have to look at it and see if there's a viable mechanism there. Because, I mean, you can give as much money as you want to someone. If it's not valuable anywhere else, well, then you just force them to permanently purchase your products. Have credit in me. America was able to do that because, well, America's products for the longest time were great. They were fantastic. They were actually the basis for research for a large span of time. The wealth in America is that you would need 4 Chinas to become equivalent today, right now. You're equal. There would be 4 billion Chinese, and 390, almost 400 million Americans. Okay, well, that's pretty crazy. So here I am, Chairman Ping, and I mean, Chairman Mao is pretty hardline too. And that is a problem. I mean, I have nationalist dreams. I want to expand China. We got to expand China. We gotta move out, and we gotta like get a whole bunch of people to be Chinese again, real fast, please. Taiwan is wealthy. We need them first. But that's an issue because he says to his troops, "Oh yeah, you guys are cool. I love the tanks. Prepare for war." Okay, well your war fighting force is going to come immediately out of your economy, so you can't do that. You can do all the posturing in the world you want, but you're still a brown water navy. You can go throw big rocks on a bunch of coral reefs and say, "Oh, look at us on 9-line. Oh, we need some fish." It doesn't work because the reality is your armies never fought. They had a social conflict, communism, the birth of, the fall of the old way. But when push comes to shove, I'm pretty sure Putin's already said, "Don't try it. We're Russia. We'll we'll obliterate you." We fought in a world war. We did. So there's that idea down the drain. So now he's trying to be trying to rub shoulders against India, but India don't care. They had their separation event in '49. The creation of India and Pakistan, when Britain said, "Okay, well, you guys in the red shirts, you all live over here. You guys in the blue shirts, well, you just go over there." Well, yeah, it turns out it wasn't that great of a time. It wasn't that smooth. It wasn't really like just changing the mailboxes. So India says, "No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We have nuclear weapons like you do. You want to push our soldiers? We'll push back. Somebody pull the trigger. No, everything's calmed down. Yeah, because China's trying to understand how are they going to do this. Meanwhile, Taiwan is just like, American weapons, still the best." And that's the truth. They still have the advanced fighting system, all this stuff. And Taiwan is wealthy. They are shelling out the dollar bills, y'all. And that is what America needs. Well, I have been basically demonstrating a good isolationist life policy philosophy recently. Gloves, mask, all that fun stuff. I don't really use hand sanitizer because I just don't touch the environment. I wear the gloves so I don't touch my face. And opening and closing doors doesn't matter because everything I use has a cool down time so that it's good to go the next time that I need it. The first words to come out of China's mouth after, "Oh, we're sorry," for keeping it a secret was, "Don't nationalize this," regarding COVID-19. Okay, fine. Don't nationalize it. Came out of Wuhan. Wet markets, if anybody's heard of them, they are not that great in terms of food preparation. Like, really, you're not washing your hands here because the wet is from like water being sprayed on the meat to make it look good because it's going to drip down on the lettuce and bok choy. And you want some salad? Yum yum. And that's what goes on there. And this is culturally apropos. That this is what they choose to do. And there's no way in nine hells that you could send a food inspector to be at every wet market. Where are you going to find these guys? How are you going to train them? Like, I mean, you're for you and me in the North American area, the scope and scale of 1 billion people is, you'd have to travel to India just to get a hint of it. And Indians, the Sikhs, and all those guys, they got it under wraps. They got it good. They know what to do, what not to do. I mean, fortunately, they have a high temperature and dryness, so that aids them to a certain extent. Although they did have their Bhopal, so let's not all bang the drum too loud. But they don't do that. They understand washing the hands. They do use the River Ganges probably a little too much, but societal exposure being what it is, they're doing really well against COVID. Because if you look at their videos, the police will beat you with a stick. Okay, I'll go them too. So China has these wet markets, and it came out of Wuhan. They said, "Oh, it was this market exactly that we know that it came out of." Amazing. I can't believe it. Amazing that they can just track that thing down like a street. Right there. Yeah. It came out of the sewer next to the biolab. Oh, shh, don't say that. But the first thing they said was, don't nationalize this. Yeah, 1986, USSR said that wasn't us when they're detecting radio materials over in Norway. And then over in Iceland. And they said, "Oh, it's got to be somebody here." I mean, these are radio. Like, we got to look around. And they looked around, and they still said, "No, no, 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 it's not us. You're wrong. It's you." Then America sent a satellite over, and yeah, no, it was them. Yeah, Chernobyl had exploded, a steam blast as a result of just milking that reactor right to explosion time, and they did. Uh, so that's how communism functions. Don't tell anyone, and if you don't tell anyone, we can get away with whatever we need to get away with until our problems are fixed. Yeah. The kicker for me was the fact that COVID affects most heavily a certain age range, which would basically include all the retirees in China right now. Except then it started killing 20-year-olds, babies, other people. Obviously, CRISPR didn't do such a good job. Oops. But then it went worldwide, and now there's millions infected, hundreds of thousands, if not millions more dead. And yeah, and then it has a mutation to the second morphology. So what was the influencing factor to trigger the mutation? Was it exposure across a population? Or they didn't close the end of the CRISPR modification, so it's just going to do this rollover every, like, Andromeda strain style, every 72 versions or whatever. I mean, if I was Xi Jinping and I had a problem with my economy and there was a cool thing called CRISPR and nobody could look at what I'm doing and I could kind of get away with it. I mean, the guy said I'm the boss until I'm dead. I mean, the inverse to fixing the problem, if it could make every woman pregnant tomorrow, ding, magic wand, Expelliarmus, pregnant. You're talking 50 years. 50 years before you get the new employees in and the old employees, which are super healthy people, out, like dead. I mean, they're building fusion reactors and they want to be part of the world stage, and that's great. That's terrific. All the more power to them for those things, even though they're still dropping rockets on villages and this other stuff. But I bet you if you could find a source, an original source of this viral body, you would see the CRISPR marks if you could sample it. They say, "Oh, we provided the code. We coded it out. We provided it to the world." No, you just gave us a print of a set of information. It wasn't anybody else who did that. It was you, China, who just gave out that information. Probably just a CRISPR model that you had tried, didn't work. Turned out it kills more than just old people. Or like the poor Nick Cordero, who, oh man. And that guy was a singing, dancing Broadway actor, way healthier than me, and he died. His wife actually just moved into the house that they had custom built for their future life together with their kids. Sorry, Nick. But China had a labor problem, so you had to die. Anyways, I just had to get that out. My name is Agamemnon. I hope everybody stays safe, happy. Mask up. Stay safe.